Yes, Time in a Word is the second studio album by progressive rock band Yes. It has 8 songs, 40 minutes, produced by somebody named Tony Colton. Orchestra by Tony Cox, and Eddie Offord is listed as the recording engineer. And you Yes fans know who Eddie Offord is. The album, cover, and liner notes. By the way, this is a 1994 remaster, which I probably bought around, 95, 96. I've had this with me for a long time. The album cover is pretty plain for Yes. It says Yes, Time in a Word. And is not a word, it's an ampersand. And you got a picture of the band, but what's interesting about this is you've got Chris Squire, Bill Bruford, Tony Kaye, and John Anderson, and then in the red shirt here, you've got Steve Howe, and they put him on here. Steve Howe is not he doesn't play on the album. Peter Banks is the lead guitarist on the album, and on the picture of the back, that's Peter Banks right there. Okay, so Peter did all the guitar playing and quit or got fired. I'm not sure. It's hard to say, really. I would imagine I don't know. I never heard the story on it. I would like to know the official story. I'll probably never know because they've been pretty quiet about it all these years. The inside, you've got. I think this is the alternative album cover, which might be the album cover in the UK. But you've got the lyrics, and this is a lot like the drama one actually for the '94 remasters. You got pictures of the band and Chris, Tony, John. That's Tony Kaye, and then Bill Bruford. And you got the lyrics. It's nice, easy to read, and it tells you who wrote each song and everything. And then you got Peter Banks on the very last page. That's Peter. The disc has got. It's got like that album cover type feel. And a lot of the 94 remasters, they did a good job with it. They sort of customized the CD label. On the back cover, you've got the names of the songs and the track numbers and the time. And it says on here, digitally remastered by Joe Gaster at Ocean View. It says right on the top. Okay. All right. This album sounds like it doesn't sound too differently from any other Yes album, really, other than the very obvious differentiators for this album. Tony Kaye's Hammond organ really stands out, and Tony Kaye's Hammond organ versus other Yes keyboardists, array of synths and keys. The orchestra stands out. The style of Peter Banks versus Steve Howe versus Trevor Rabin, that stands out. Peter Banks I think he's underappreciated. I really like his playing. He's not like spectacular, and he doesn't has the diversity of Steve Howe or some other guitarists, or even really Trevor Rabin's pretty diverse. Trevor Rabin's technically sound and technical, and he can do a lot of different things. But I think over the years I've underappreciated Peter Banks and what he's meant to Yes. But also Tony Kaye and his keyboard playing versus someone, say, like Rick Wakeman or Pat Mraz or Igor Koreshev, I really enjoyed in his short tenure with the band. Tony's pretty good. It's nice to listen to. The orchestra isn't. Here's another note. It's not on every song, and I'll point that out when I don't hear it on the songs, but. It's annoying on some tracks and then fine. Okay, that was a big deal. They wanted to diversify their sound, and they couldn't get Tony Kaye to do stuff. But okay, anyway, the first track on Time in a Word is "No Opportunity Necessary, No Experience Needed," which is a Richie Havens tune, 4 minutes and 47 seconds. I listened to the Richie Havens track yesterday, or actually a couple days ago when I started working on this. I'll provide you the YouTube link. The Richie Havens track is in the key of D major, and I think so maybe because the first chord of the verse is a D, according to Chordify.com. I couldn't find the sheet music for this. You hear a lot of strumming guitar containing very rhythmic cadence and syncopation. I was expecting this to be a country song based on what Bill Bruford said about it in Yes Years, which came out around Union time. So I was surprised that it was more like an acoustic, folksy type song, and maybe I was confusing what Bill Bruford was trying to say about they pulled the strings, the orchestra strings, for their version from a song called Big Country. Okay, the Yes version, No Opportunity Necessary, is in the key of E major, and that's according to ultimateguitar.com and chordify.com. It's the first chord of the verse. That means, what that means is Yes moved it up a couple of half steps. And to me, that makes the song sound, the Yes version sounds brighter compared to the Richie Havens version. And it's just, actually, it's more energetic than the Richie Havens version too. It's a song that's in 4/4 time. What Genius says about No Opportunity Necessary is this song opens with an orchestra theme from the soundtrack of The Big Country, a Western by Jerome Morris. It was written by Richie Havens, a singer-songwriter and guitarist from Brooklyn. Okay, so for me, it was like a enlightening moment to listen to the Richie Havens version, where all these years I was listening to this version. And also, I'll add that Yes played this song. The last time I saw them in concert, which was about a year ago, they played this song. And Steve Howe did a funny thing when the orchestra came on over the, they obviously didn't have an orchestra with, but he did this fake, like he was playing a violin. It was kind of funny. Steve Howe is the man, by the way. This song, the song is, it goes like that. It has a big introduction with you can hear the orchestra. It actually overpowers the band and the orchestra. The orchestra does in the introduction. The verse, John Anderson singing, "Step out in the night when you're lonely, listen to the sounds." It's a 16-bar verse, and the pre-chorus is when John is singing, "Stop, stay where you are, take a look at yourself, take a good look at yourself." You could think of that as a pre-chorus, or really it's just the end of the verse. I guess you could think of it either way, but it's then it goes right into the chorus. "Can't tell your mama, she'd only tell you that she told you so. Da 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 da, the light you're leaving." That's 10 bars, that chorus. So it's a 16-bar verse and then the 10-bar chorus. And then the intermission is, it's very long. I counted out 37 bars. It's mainly the main riff of the song with the strings and everything. That whole... And then the whole band jumps in and they do this really long intermission. It's a good track. The verse is I'm sorry, I misspoke. The song structure and arrangement is that introduction, the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, and then it goes back to the verse, that long intermission, the verse, the chorus, and the outro. And No Opportunity Necessary. And it's a perfect starter track for this album. The second track on Time on a Word is called Then. It's a John Anderson song at 5 minutes and 42 seconds. John Anderson is the lead singer of Yes. He's also the man, by the way. This jingle can get stuck in your brain like an earworm, the song Then. It's in the key of D major. It's moderately fast tempo. It's a 4/4 time, but it changes to 5/4 and 3/4 time. And in the chorus, it even changes to 2/4 time. So there's just a lot going on. You can tell that Yes is starting to push the boundaries on what they want for progressive rock. They want more of the time changes and tempo changes. The verse, the way the verse starts out is, and in a time that's closer, life will be even bolder then. It's 24 bars. It's a very long verse. And then the chorus is, as long as we see there's only us, we can change it. Only us to rearrange it. Only us to rearrange. It's actually I like the way he sings it. Of a start of a kind of a day, a new kind of a day. It's 16 bars plus an extra bar, but also consider the chorus has an abrupt change to 2/4 and 3/4 time. So the chorus it's a 16 bar, but it feels kind of fun when you're listening to it. There's an instrumental which is very long. It's about 70 bars of keyboards and drumming doing most of the heavy work here. The bass and guitar are underneath, and the orchestra isn't standing out too much. The tempo rises and falls, and the time signature seems to be changing throughout the instrumental of 70 bars. It's about 70 bars. It was difficult to count it out for me. After the instrumental interlude, it comes back to the verse, but it's just John singing softly with some background songs. No intense drumming or other melodies happening. You hear a lot of keyboards and bass. The guitar is sort of hidden in that instrumental. It's doing like a dit-dit-dit thing that Peter Banks is doing during the verses. The strings add flair to the song, but not much else. The strings are much more prominent and no opportunity necessary. I want to add this before I go any further. I forgot to mention at the beginning. I have this book which has it has the Yes music for all the songs except for all the songs up to drama or Yes shows, I guess, which Yes shows has everything anyway, but it doesn't have the sheet music to the cover, so that for that I had to do some digging and lifting. But what the book doesn't have is like it doesn't have the instrumental sections. I have to do that myself, so I got to sit there and listen to it and count it out and think about what's in there, because that's not in the book. The song structure for this song is a verse chorus. There's like a post chorus of one line, and then it comes back to the verse chorus, that long instrumental of 70 bars, and then it comes back to the verse, and then that's the song. Then catchy little jingle, not a great song, but it works. Track 3 is Every Days, which is a Stephen Stills track. It's 6 minutes and 6 seconds. So this is a Buffalo Springfield cover. And I don't other than the songs I would hear on like the oldies radio, I don't know a lot of Buffalo Springfield. I just know that Neil Young is in it. I didn't know that Stephen Stills was in it. So it shows you how limited I am in just the history of rock and roll. But I have the things that I like. It sounds like I listened to the Buffalo Springfield song and of Every Days, and I'll post the link. I'll let you listen to it. It sounds fairly 60s folksy to me. I think these guys are from California. At least that's what it seems like to me. But the Yes version of Every Days is in the key of D minor. That's a guess. UltimateGuitar.com instructions are to tune down to D. So you tune your E strings down to D, and that effectively makes your guitar a D. It's in the D chord. The Chordify.com shows D minor and G major chords to start the song. It seems right to me, but if you have a different interpretation, I'd be open to hear it. You could leave it in the comments. I know some of you guys like when I talk about the music theory behind it. I just find it really interesting. A song like Every Days is not in the book, so if I can't find the sheet music, I get a bit lost and I have to go digging. There's lots of changing time signatures in the Yes version, okay? It's just all over the place. You can hear it. The verse, look at the sad goodbyes, every days are killing time. Every days are killing time. This seems to be mostly in 3/4 time. There's 11 bars, and it's an abrupt switch to the chorus. So you're expecting that 12th bar, and then it doesn't come. And the chorus is, well, 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 another day. Well, 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 another day. That's how John sings it. Another day, day, day. And it's the chorus is fast. It's 4 bars of 4/4 time. Okay. That's what I think it is. The bridge is, it's soft within the wayward things like ecstasy, the sound of trees, most anything, what a baby sees. That's the bridge. And then the interlude starts at about 2 minutes and runs to 4 minutes and 40 seconds. About 2 minutes and 40 seconds of running time for the interlude. This is mainly a spot for Peter Banks to just jam or solo. And the drums and bass are playing pretty frantically too. The verse picks back up at about the 4 minutes and 50 second mark. So the way the interludes are on this record, it does remind me of the very first Yes record, and I like it. I mean, I like what they're doing here. I usually don't like to admit when I like things, but I do like that. Yes is my kind of band, honestly. Even the early Yes before Steve Howe and Rick Wakeman, I enjoy it. For Every Days, the song arrangement is a verse, chorus, bridge, the interlude that's about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and then comes back to the verse chorus, and that's the song. Track 4 is Sweet Dreams. It's a song by David Foster and John Anderson at 3 minutes and 48 seconds. If you don't know who David Foster is, he is the husband of Catherine McPhee from American Idol Season 3, if I'm remembering right, which is when I started watching American Idol. That's a side note. I digress. Sweet Dreams is probably the song I like the most on this album. The album version is fine, okay? I really prefer the versions on Yes Songs from Songus. I wasn't prepared to do this, but I think this is it right here. Yes Songs from Songus. That's one of my favorite DVDs to listen to. In Songs from Songus, there's this big thumping bass line from Chris. The do 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 do. It's just really hard and heavy, and it has a nice driving beat and music on that version. The version that's on here is fine, and it's actually a fairly good representation on the live version. By the way, this is a very rare AABA song for Yes. Sweet Dreams. It's in the key of C major, and it has a fast tempo, and the 4/4 time changes to 3/4 time periodically. The verse is John Anderson, sweet dreams can solve the future, sweet dreams provide the past, and it's 18 bars. And then the bridge is the part where he says, come on and write your letter, you know it will be better. It goes on for 20 bars. It's a catchy bridge. And then the intermission, in the Songs from Songus version, Steve Howe plays this really killer solo. I mean, it really makes me happy. And also in the Word is Live version, disc 2, which is this, it's this thing right behind me. Did I ever pull this thing out? I have this. I'm all over the place. In this version, it feels like a short, like a 16 or 20 bars of Peter Banks plays a comparable solo to the one I know from 2002. But the Peter Banks version is fine. The Steve Howe version is ripping. It's just really pleasurable, okay? I think the live version is longer. When I'm done with this, I'm going to go listen to the live version. That's how excited I am, because I like it so much. I like the bridge section when John's singing, you're going to smile again, you're going to laugh again. I like that song a lot, okay? It's a verse, bridge, verse, instrumental, chorus. It's not a chorus, it's just replaying some of the bridge. And it's an outro, like a refrain. Think of it as a refrain. It's an AAB song. Sweet Dreams. After Sweet Dreams is track 5, The Prophet. It's a song written by Chris Squire and John Anderson for 6 minutes and 32 seconds. There's a long keyboard introduction by Tony Kaye, and the strings pick up at about a 1 minute, 20 second mark. And then at the 2 minute mark, the bass, keyboards, and drums pick up. And it's like a galloping, horsey type music. Some nice touch by Peter Banks, too. And the intro ends at the 250 mark. This is a key of A major, and moderately fast tempo. The 4/4 time changes to 3/4. Lots of time changes on this album. The verses of John Anderson saying, long ago a tall man told a tale of yesterday, searching for the truth to life and not just a way. 31 bars with changing time sigs. It starts at 2 minutes and 50 seconds. There's a break or a bridge at 4 minutes and 39 seconds to 5 minutes and 14 seconds. So that's about less than a minute. And it's dominated by keyboards and a rumbling low bass in that bridge breakout part. The intro is about 5 minutes and 50 seconds to about 6 minutes and 32 seconds, or about 42 seconds. Okay. The song is an intro, verse, verse, break, verse, outro. I wouldn't call it an AABA, but it would be a stretch to call it that. Track 6 is Clear Days, John Anderson, 2 minutes and 4 seconds. The first verse and second verse are angular metaphors for love and life. But in the second verse, he's singing of a dream. In the first verse, John Anderson is singing about a girl. This is about as profound as I get into reading John Anderson's lyrics, which are really just nonsensical, or as he says, he uses words as like colors. And but this is like he's actually writing a song here. This is the song where the orchestra is the most important part of the song. It's mostly strings that I hear, and no percussion, no drum kit. I don't hear a bass guitar or keyboards or anything like that. It's in the key of G major and moderately slow in cut time, or it's in 4/4 time, but think of it as cut time, so half of what you would expect. The verse, I once knew a secret young girl, her body was her world in love. It's very long verses of 25 bars. And then there's an outro is orchestra playing, it's just the orchestra playing the song out. The song is very simple. It's John and the orchestra, and it's 2 verses. It's verse and verse and the outro, and that's the song, Clear Days. Track 7 is Astral Traveller, a John Anderson tune of 5 minutes and 50 seconds, which now that I think about it surprises me because it doesn't seem like a John song to me. It seems more like a Chris song, but it's a John song. The song starts with a huge introduction, first by Peter Banks, guitar, and then the entire band joining. It's a 44-second intro. And it's like a bam, 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 bam. It's kind of like got that thing. I don't know if I got that quite right, but it does that. And I don't hear the orchestra on this song. Okay, it's at the... okay. It's in the key of B flat. There's 2 flats in the sheet music, so a B flat and an E flat. The verse is in B flat. The chorus switches to G major. It's a moderately fast tempo in 4/4 time. The verse is, and in the ruins caught in the noose around me, glasses tell lies. It's 16 bars in the key of B flat, and the chorus is, Astral Traveller, leaving without her. It's 16 bars in the key of G major, as I said. And there's a long break. It's 2 minutes and 9 seconds to 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So over 2 minutes, just shy of 2.5 minutes. I counted about 98 bars. It's really hard to count that out. The solo in the middle of that 98 bars starts at the 3 minute and 26 second mark, and it's a guitar solo from Peter Banks. The outro to the song ends with the same guitar as the beginning, that dun, 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 and a big building drum roll at the end by Bill Bruford. The song structure goes, it's the verse, the chorus, the verse, the chorus. That long break with the solo in the middle of it, and then they repeat the chorus and then the outro. Probably the best track, maybe not my favorite, but the best one on the album. Track 8 is the final track on Time in a Word. It is the title track, Time in a Word. It is another David Foster, John Anderson song, 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Most of the song doesn't have the orchestra. I don't hear the orchestra until the ending outro at 3 minutes and 9 seconds. It has a memorable bass line by Chris Squire, and a memorable keyboard introduction by Tony Kaye. It would be better. Honestly, the song would be better without the orchestra. I should go back and listen to live versions, and if I feel the same way about it. It's the key is in key of G major is the key, and it's a moderately slow tempo, 4/4. Again, cut time, so you count it 1 2. It's in 4/4 time, but you count it 1 2 1 2. Okay, the verse is, In the morning when you rise, do you open up your eyes, see what I see? Do you see the same things every day? 16 bars. And Chris Squire's going to boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, boom. And the keyboard is really on top of all of this. The chorus, it's a memorable chorus line. There's a time, and the time is now, and it's right for me. And it's a 12 bars about, and you can really hear that keyboard on top. That burr, 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 burr. And the song structure of Time in a Word is verse, chorus, outro. The orchestra comes in at the end, and it's really blasting out loud in the outro. I don't like it. You can even hear horns now that I think about it. But is it on here? Time and the time is live. The word is live. The word is live. Time in a word. The word is live. The word is love. Let me see if it's on here. It's not on here. Shoot, I'll have to find a live version. I've listened to this a bunch of times. This has 3 discs. Steve Howe put this together about 20 years ago. It's fine. I've listened to it a bunch of times, but I don't like have it memorized. It's not up front in my mind. Okay, let's get back to Time in a Word. Here's the summary. Bestsellingalbums.com doesn't have it listed for sales. So I can't tell you if it sold well. I don't think it did. The Wikipedia page said that it sold about the same as the debut album. This gets a 3.35 on progarchives.com. That's less than Mirror to the Sky. And it's not like it doesn't have a lot of reviews. I think it had thousands of reviews. And Mirror to the Sky had a bunch of reviews too, more than 100. If it has more than 100 reviews, that to me that's worthy of citing. If it doesn't have 100 reviews, I won't cite it. 2 stars on allmusic.com. That's not fair. It's better than a 2-star album. It's pretty good. It's not, I wouldn't say it's great or excellent or awesome, but it's pretty good. I get told all the time you say everything is good. Well, I like Yes. I do like Yes. It was nice for me to listen to all weekend. I listened to it a bunch of times. I might listen to it again today. My favorite songs on here are No Opportunity Necessary, Sweet Dreams, and Astral Traveller. Time in a Word, the title track is okay. The others are fine. Like I say, Every Days kind of gets stuck in my head. The other tracks are just not too memorable. The cover of Every Days has that nice long jam in it. It's a nice album to listen to. It's unexpectedly nice. It's not close to the edge. I don't want to compare it too much to other stuff. I recommend it. Next on the channel is the Beatles' Rubber Soul. And then after that will be Led Zeppelin 3. And then after that will be King Crimson Lizard. God, I love Lizard. And then after Lizard, get ready for a healthy dose of Chicago albums. That'll take us through October. And thanks for listening. I'm out. Thanks, everybody.